All right. Looks like I'm live. Good, I think. Yep. Internet is at full bore. Very good. So for those of you that have been here the past, I should say, well, Thursday, I think it cut out a couple times. Or is that Wednesday? But anyways, the internet, either Wednesday, I don't know when it started, but Friday was definitely buffering and refreshing, and it was a pain. But the internet people came out, and all Friday pretty much had text messages saying there's an outage in the area, and there was never quite an outage, but it was really sketchy service. And tried the live stream on Friday. It lasted for like a minute and a half. But then finally got the message Friday night, and then did my speed test, and internet is definitely up and rolling. So I do apologize for that. And if people can hear me, can you give me the one in the chat room real quick? If you can hear me and if I sound all right? Okay. All right, excellent. Thank you. Good. As always, if you've been here before and you know that you're going to like, make sure to hit that like button. If you're brand new, first off, welcome. No need to hit the like button because I totally understand. You don't know if you're going to like this or not. But yes, we're on a streak of over 100 likes, and I want to keep that up. So, like I said, if you know that you're going to enjoy, remember to hit that like button. Bro, I am a new trader. What should I do or start with? I would do this as something that's brand new. I would get signed up for this. I'll put a link to it for you. But I have this webinar this Thursday. So let me tag you A, B, D. There you go. I would sign up for that as something that's brand new. That'll definitely answer some of those questions. So that's what I would do, being brand new. So how'd everybody's day go so far? So kind of a slower morning for me at 4:50, but yeah, it's a little bit slower action than what we've been used to the past few weeks. That's for sure. It's amazing what fear will do to the market, but now I think with Trump coming out and kind of backing off some of the tariffs, people are feeling a little bit better about things. And when fear goes away, action kind of mellows out a little bit. So it's kind of a catch-22 for us as traders. We want fear because fear brings volatility. But if we're like invested in the market like I am, I do have in investments. I don't only just day trade. Then it's like, okay, well, now my investments are kind of going down. But at least I'm getting volatility from the trading side. So kind of a sick and twisted world we day traders live in. But if you don't have any investments, I suppose, then you don't really care. You're just like, bring on the fear, bring on the drama, bring on that volatility, because that's what we want. So really, right now, just looking at it, basically have another bull pennant pattern. So if you believe in the bull pennant, for you golfers, let me make a little bit more visual. There you go. But there's been so many breakouts. It's like one of these has surely got to be like the fake breakout that rolls over and. But as of right now, that'd be just going with the trend. And like I said, you have the well-defined level there. You have that right there. You have the move up. So bull pennant right now. When we're looking at the NQ. But yeah, what about your guys' days? Guys and gals in the chat. How are your days going so far? Yeah, is this gonna... you should have a credit. Check your credit bank. Relax. Ardu. And if you don't have a credit in there that you use during the checkout process, just reach out to their customer service and they'll take care of you. A day's survival. Yeah, today was... I can see this being a day's survival. Not as... in hindsight, it's easy to be like, what do you mean a day of survival? Just go long, because all this thing has done is gone up. It's like, well, yeah, you're right in hindsight. But yes, in the heat of the battle, I'm with you. Like, it was just... it was certainly a day of survival for sure. Yeah, right now, does this I don't know. Is anybody thinking this breaks to the upside? Or are people thinking that this is going to fail to the downside? Well, I guess we're coming up there doing battle once again. I really need to make these lines a little less. Let's see what these now look like when I draw some lines. There we go. I don't know. Is that too skinny? No, that looks like it still shows up fine. I think. Looking over at what yeah. I think you can all still see those lines better. That's a little bit easier to see, I think. Only had about 5 minutes to trade this morning. Managed to scalp 250 though. That's not bad for 5 minutes. Could you please briefly explain the membership perks and platform used for trading with cost as well? Are you talking about the prop firm, Yash? Or are you talking about my membership for my community? Hey, there's Kevin from Lakeland, Florida. Good to see you, Kevin. Again, if you have been here before and you know you're going to enjoy, as a reminder, hit that like button. If you're brand new, then don't hit the like button because I understand you have no idea if you're going to like. But if you've been here before and you know you're going to like, just your friendly reminder to hit that like button. Ravshan, hi Clay, I am pro account, earning buffer, 1505 already passed before I go to draw. Yeah, yep, after that buffer, then it's all, you can take whatever you want, but then you become a question of, well, how much should you take? Because you can start to grow your buffer. So in theory, you could have a buffer of $10,000 where you could have an $8,000 losing trade and you'd still, your account would still not be taken away from you. But yeah, that's always the great debate. After the buffer, how aggressive are you in pulling profits? How much do you leave to build your buffer? A great debate. And as we just sit here and continue to watch this thing kind of chopping forth between the bull pennant here. Well, I can see some people maybe, if they believe in the pennant, here you go. I could see some people wanting to play the bottom of this trend line, and if it bounces back upwards, I would not call you crazy for that. Again, nothing doesn't mean that it'll work. That's why risk management is the key. But yeah, I would not call you crazy if you're like, I'm buying right now. I'm buying the bottom of this pattern. I'm okay to earn 500 too without. Yeah. I mean, like I said, there's no right or wrong way to do it, but that is just the question of how aggressive do you want to be in requesting payouts from the prop firm versus how much money do you want to leave in the account to give yourself that bigger buffer. So if you have a really bad day, you don't lose your pro account. But yes, it's a case by case situation for sure. Well, so far, anybody that was buying that trend line, not only the trend line, but you also had the 21 EMA right there. They're not out of the woods quite yet because there hasn't really been that much of. I mean, if there is some sort of micro scalper, then yeah, they just made plenty of room in there for a micro scalp. But if they're looking for a bigger move up, then yeah, they're still not out of the woods yet. But got to think they were feeling pretty good about things. Where did Yash go? How does that work? I got to Yash's question. Oh, there he is. Will you help to achieve $1,500 through live trades? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Are you asking about my community or are you asking about the prop firm, Yash? Let's just start there. I'm trying to build a framework for what you're asking about. I mean, I can help to an extent. Like, I can just give thoughts and stuff like that. But, like, am I going to, are you just going to puppet trade me? No, if only it were that easy. NVIDIA, let's go. Truth Freedom. Truth Freedom, are you a day trader? Like, in what way are you saying NVIDIA, let's go? Or are you just here to pump NVIDIA? Are you a pumper? Not that you could pump and influence NVIDIA. It's not like it's some penny stock. Yeah, I've had several people say to give it a try on futures, and it does seem to carry some weight, carry some self-fulfilling prophecies on futures. I mean, I've always known about the 21 EMA. I haven't really used it in stock or options trading, but like I said, I had some people suggest it for futures. I was like, yeah, I'll give it a try. And yeah, I've been happy with it. So kind of just one of those days, right? For those, if you've been around the past several weeks, then I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot of needing to wait. It's been, I mean, you're getting movements all over the place. But yeah, today has been kind of what you're seeing here. Just sitting and waiting. What's going to happen with this pattern? Is anybody playing this right now? If I join the community, will I get help to become an independent? Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yes. If you join my community, you will definitely get help because there's a lot of traders there that are not only just trading in general, but a lot of them are trading futures through a prop firm. So yes. Joining my community, you will get help. Correct. I'm waiting to short around 420. Oh, okay. So you got a ways to go before you go short. Is there anything at 420? Let me see if I can see what you're seeing. Okay, well, once again, at the bottom of the pattern right here. It's up to the 15-minute. Yeah, well, what's at 420? Why 420? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I just... What's up, Clay? Are you done with trading stocks for good? Yeah, stocks are garbage. Day trading stocks are garbage. Correct. Paulo, haven't you been here? You've heard of Pam's plant, haven't you, Paulo? Maybe I could have sworn that you've been here before. And you've been here for when I've talked about Pam's plant. Now technical just feeling 420. Okay. I don't just feeling levels make me a little nervous, but to be fair to you, I don't really know anything about you or whatever. So maybe you have super good instincts and you can just feel stuff, but me personally I'm just feeling, and then to throw out a number, that makes me nervous, but hey, if it works for you, then more power to you. Well, so this is one of these situations where, I mean, let's think about that. People that played the trend line, those that are scalpers, hey, they had a nice trade there. That was from the trend line up to about there. Yeah, they had about, I don't know, we'll call it 12, 13 points to work with. So for a micro scalper, 12 to 13 points, plenty of room. But for the people that are like, no, I'm not a micro scalper. Let's see this thing come up here and get the breakout. I'm assuming those people are stopped out now. Because I would assume their stop was probably below the low right there. So yeah, like I said, it's always, so the people that were scalpers are thinking, I'm glad I'm a scalper, but had this thing continued to explode upwards, they'd be sitting there saying, why did I choose to scalp? Why didn't I just hold? But right now, the people that were looking for this move, they're saying, why didn't I just scalp? I should have just scalped. But that's good old hindsight for you. Next, kind of question in my mind, do you get some sort of bounce off of, because I think, let's get this trend line in play. Yeah. So I have a trend line right here that's also kind of corresponding with the 50 period moving average. So I could see potentially, again, nothing's guaranteed to work, but would I call you crazy for, kind of buying down in this area thinking you might get some sort of turnaround? I would not call you crazy for that. Again, it doesn't mean it'll work. Risk management matters. So I think one thing I have to, so a little context here. I've been live streaming now a little over a month and a half. One thing I have to learn is I don't understand the dynamics. Like, people will say stuff and then I'll ask them a question and then they just don't reply. So like Paulo asked them the question, but that was like several minutes ago. So I understand people are typing, so that I can't expect like a response within 2.8 seconds. But I don't. Is that like normal live streaming? Do people just like show up, ask something, or say something, and then they just like leave? Like I don't know. I can't say that I've ever been a huge walking around and going to like YouTube live streams and stuff like that. I've done live streams and I've been on them, but I've never really, I don't think I've ever talked on one of them. But I don't know. Is that like a thing? Like, Paulo, are you still here? Hello? Paulo, I would love to give you more context, but I don't even know if you're here anymore. So the one thing that I am, and I'm not taking credit for this pattern because somebody posted it in our private community, but we do have this dynamic. I need to change up the colors of these. So we have that. Ah, it's actually doing battle with it right now. Okay. We have this rising wedge pattern here that was pointed out. And right now, yeah, price started to do battle with it here, and right now it's looking like the rising wedge is indeed rising wedge. I should note is a bearish pattern. You would think a rising wedge might be bullish because it's rising, but actually the rising wedge is the bearish one. The falling wedge is the bullish pattern. So like I said, I'm not taking credit for this pattern. Somebody pointed that out in our room. I kind of just remembered. Oh yeah, that was the other thing that was at play here. So like I said, rising wedge is bearish. Doesn't mean that there's going to be a crash or anything like that. But yeah, a pullback like this, I could see happening. And I could definitely see this rising wedge get more continuation if this secondary trend line that I put in there fails, because it would be not only a failure of the trend line, but also a failure of the 50-period moving average on the 2-minute. Oh, it's GMacker. GMacker. GMacker is somebody that I cannot tell. Like, he'll leave comments, and I'm like, are you a troll or are you just... But so I don't know, GMacker. The jury's out on you. I have both past accounts and eval accounts. Yes, I have both. I've never gone live, but doesn't it show you a list of all the people that are in here? If it does, I don't know how to find the list of people. It probably does. I don't know where that's at, though. You might need to reconnect that because the internet does work. Do you know how to connect or try to connect? Okay, yeah, that should just I think it'll say Clabby. Clabby. Yeah. Hey Clay, can you show the depth of market where orders are waiting to be executed or it costs monthly kind of? No, yeah, I don't use like level 2s or anything. I don't even use the DOMs, which is depth of market. I just have this here because I know some people enjoy watching it and seeing it. And to be fair, maybe I'm like the stupidest person ever for not using the DOMs. Some people in our community are like, they like live and die by the thing. Other people are like, I don't get it. I'm one of those people that's like, yeah, I don't get, but that just shows that there's no holy grail to trading. You just got to figure out what works for you. Like, that's why anybody that shows up and says, hey, follow my system, follow my strategy. Now, I'm not refuting that their system, their strategy does not work for them. That's not, it probably, that's fine. The problem is you are not them. They are not you. That's why there is no universal system. Now, there are universal guardrails like risk management, got to focus on risk control, all that. There's universal guardrails, but there's not like some magical system that's, going to work for everybody. So yes, I don't use the DOMs, the depth of market, but that's not to say that it's stupid or doesn't work or anything like that. But how do you turn on your switch? Turn on your switch. Turn on or switch. I mean, each of these tabs, you can, if you wanted to change to something else, you would just come up there, click, and then you could type in the symbol right there. I don't know if that's what you meant by switch or not. So yeah, really still just waiting to see, is this rising wedge going to promote more of a deeper pullback here? So who, I think that was Austin, or was it somebody, either Dale or Weiler or Austin in our private community called out the rising wedge here. And yeah, it's playing out. Like I said, it depends on strategy. If you're some sort of scalper from the short side, you've already made your money. You're happy as a clam. If you're somebody that wants to see a little bit more movement, well, then you're not out of the woods because, yeah, it's broken down some, but it hasn't really made a really good move. So, like I said, are the shorts good or bad? Well, I don't know. It depends on the shorts and what their strategy was. Hi, Clay. What platform do you use to trade futures? Which one do you recommend for a beginner trader? Charles, I recommend trading futures through a prop firm for many reasons. I won't go into it right now, but So the prop firm that I use and recommend, you can actually see its pin is Take Profit Trader. And then so this is a nice thing about prop firms, or at least Take Profit Trader. Once you select your purchasing power, then during the checkout, they'll ask you what platform do you want to use. And I use Tradeovate right there, but you do not need to go sign up separately for Tradeovate. That's a nice thing. You don't have to go through the hassle of signing up for another platform, signing up for another broker. They will do all that for you, and then they'll send you your login information. But yes, I use Tradeovate, and that's who I'd recommend, just because I use them. That's who I'm familiar with. Seems like they're kind of the king of the mountain in a sense of kind of platforms. A lot of people use them. Doesn't mean that they're best just because a lot of people use them, but I use them and they get the job done. And the classic backtest broke down, came up. This area of support now acting as resistance. So that's the big question mark. Is this going to be a backtest and go? Backtest, will it go back down? Here we go. I mean, just classic. Backtest and go. Oh, there's Paulo. Yes, I'm listening on my TV. I was just on the phone, but yes, I heard of Pam's plant, brother. I just remember you used to trade stocks for years, but I just started watching you again. So, yeah, so you've heard of Pam's plant. So my answer to that would be because of Pam's plant, I no longer day trade stocks. Day trading stocks, options, Forex, and crypto is just a waste of time. It's a waste of capital, and they're just garbage compared to Pam's plant. Now, if you're here, maybe that is an offensive thing. Like, wait, did he just say what I'm doing is a waste of time and garbage? Yeah, that is what I said. But I have good reasoning for it. And that's Pam's plant. And I'm happy to go over it, but I don't want to go over it right now. But yeah, it doesn't really make any sense at all, especially if you're a beginner. You know, to day trade anything other than futures through a prop firm doesn't make any sense. From a very logistical standpoint and a very mathematical standpoint, it just doesn't make sense. There it is. Look at that. You can't make, again, I'm not patting myself on the back, but this is just charts. This is classic charts. Broke down, and then breakdown levels, they can get back tested. So there was a back test, and now it's going. Now, how far is it going to go? Does it break through this level here? Is this where the rising wedge is going to kick into play? Now, you probably got some longs saying, I'm buying this. I think this is going to be a failed break. I think this is going to be a failed breakdown of the rising wedge. I'm not going to call them crazy either. I don't know if I'd have as much nerve as they do. Clay, do you have to use level 2 on futures? No, I don't use level 2s. No. And it's not level 2s in futures. It's called the DOM, the depth of market, which is over here. There it is. There's the rise. Again, shout out to the community. Great call on that rising wedge. Again, if you're enjoying, hit that like button. We're kind of a little light on this. Usually in the past, by 30 minutes, we've been almost open up to 50 likes. So if you're enjoying, hit that like. But again, I haven't really been harping on the like. So yes, if you are enjoying, hey, Coach Stan is here. Daily declining 20 SMA is at 2303. So down around here. So is that where you're thinking, Dan? Think it's got a chance to head down there now? Warrior Woman, will you wait for retest after break or just get in? I do both. And I'd be lying if I said that I do one 70% of the time, the other one 30%. But sometimes it just has to do with the risk profiles. If waiting for a back test is going to give you a better risk profile, then I'd probably do that. But if you can get the same or pretty similar risk profile to just getting in on the break. But again, the quality of the break is going to matter too. So it's a case-by-case situation. Is there any benefits of using that? I mean, some people would say yeah. Other people would say you're just going to give yourself paralysis by analysis. Jeremy, I know very little about that stuff, but been around since 2000. I got started in 2006. Started the channel, started my website in 2013. And I'll just say, Jeremy, that I've seen lots of gimmicks over the years, and I don't know enough to say that that's a gimmick, but I know very little about it, but from what I have heard, it sounds gimmicky. But I want to be fair. I haven't looked in enough because I really don't care. I mean, like I said, I'm kind of like the grumpy old guy, get off my lawn. Like, I've been around enough to just be like, yeah, I've seen it before. Like, there's nothing new under the sun. Sure, it's new in the sense of maybe what it is. For example, when I got started, it was all about penny stocks. Cryptos didn't exist, but the psychology is the exact same. Like, all the meme coins and the hyping, and, there was no such thing as a rug pull. Back when I got started, you just call things pump and dumps. So it'd just be like, but in crypto, it's like the same thing. It's the same psychology. People show up, people get coins, and then they go out there and promote, and then they rug pull. And so it's all the same. It just comes in different ways. So, those concepts, Jeremy, are they a gimmick? I don't know. But if I were just forced to get, like, yes, it's probably, kind of a gimmicky thing. Because, again, it goes back to anybody that promotes, like, I have the perfect system, or I have this, or I have that. It's like, yeah, I'm not saying that doesn't work for that person, but to just say that, like, it's going to universally work for everybody. Yeah, I struggle in that regard. Paulo, I just got approved to pro. Very good job, Paulo. And I'm excited, but also nervous. How about the intraday drone? How should I approach? Yeah, you just be aggressive until you get to your buffer, Paulo, and then that stops following you. Just be aggressive with your profit taking. Yeah, you can't don't go for home runs, which is good, because, I mean, if you're only going for home runs, that's not really a sustainable model. But yeah, good job, Paulo. Rav Sean, I think I had enough going up. It should go down in near 60, at least 60. I think I had enough going up, and it should go down in near hour. Okay, well, if you think it's going to go down I mean, it's kind of already been going down, but it sounds like you think it'll go down more. So yeah, I would say that this rising wedge ultimately did play out very nicely. As I mentioned earlier, rising wedge does not mean that there's a crash or that there's a massive reversal coming. It just suggests a pullback. And yeah, from where it broke down here, it did, back test, and then that's where the move really came, was after the back test on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that out, as it served its purpose for now. Still have this trend line in play that it's battling. It's trying to maintain it. We'll see if it can give it up and go. Hey, Clay, my favorite trader. Well, thanks, KX. How are you today? Doing pretty good. Had a good weekend. Trading was a little rough. Not my ideal cup of tea, but that's all right. Man, Paulo, you show up. You ask some questions, and then you just bail. Is measured move of rising wedge from the middle of the wedge or the beginning? Some would say the opening. So, like, if that's rolling wedge, like, what is this distance between here? And then when it breaks, you would look for this distance right there. Like, that's what you would look for here. No, I'm just giving you a hard time, Paulo. Again, congrats on passing your test. That's awesome. Very good. At least make sure you hit that like button, Paulo. Or your money bag's over there. How about $100 super chat? Do you think you trade gold? No, I don't think. I know I don't trade gold. Maybe you meant, do you think you should trade gold? Maybe that's what you meant. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what jives best for you. You got to figure out what's going to work best in your mind. I realize, like, from a sales pitch standpoint, it's be like, listen, just sign up for my program, sign up for my strategy, and then you don't have to think for yourself anymore. It's just plug and play. Unfortunately, that's not how trading actually works. Is you got to figure out what's going to work best for you, which does take work. Yeah, it takes experimentation. But that's just the way the market is. I meant to ask if you trade gold. Okay, I thought so. I was just like, do you think you trade gold? I was like, well, I mean, no, I don't think I know. But no, I don't. That doesn't mean that there's anything, I'm not saying it's dumb to trade gold. I just don't trade it. Clay, can you trade multiple test accounts at the same time? Yes, you can, Billy. Yep. With the copy trading, it always makes it nice. All right, well, this, in my mind, is kind of the big point that could really generate some more downside pressure. Right there. That low. Is that going to create some downside momentum? You can see right there, price bounce off it. A couple times right there. What's the ES up to? And again, I'm always looking for feedback. Do you enjoy this commentary? Do you enjoy watching the markets together? If so, hit that like button. Let me know in the chat room. Super chat is another way to communicate. I'm still trying to figure out the groove of what people are enjoying. Awesome. I took long NVDL. I got to ask KX, why are you spending any time at all with stocks when you know about futures? Like, I don't get it. I can't wrap my mind around what's the point of even trading stocks at all. Yeah, if it breaks down through there, got to think that. I mean, right there could be a. So yeah, let me mark that out. So how many points is that? From there is 27 down to, all right, so you're getting a little over potential 10 points here. If it can break through here, because that's real. Now, again, there's no guarantees. I'm not saying if it breaks, it's for sure guaranteed going down to that level. I'm just saying that when you look back through the history of the charter, there just isn't anything there that really suggests any areas of support until you get down to this group right there. But then, yeah, if you clear through there, then nothing until really the overnight high. Again, that doesn't mean that if the price breaks through this area, it's dropping straight down to there or ever going to go down to there because there are no guarantees. But just, again, looking back at the chart, you just don't really see anything. There's nothing that really suggests any sort of major areas of support. I've done options, Forex, crypto, and I much prefer... Thank you, yeah. Exactly, Jeremy. That's what I keep trying to tell people. Like, if you're in the day trading category, so again, that's very important because I'm not making my claims from someone that's interested in investing or interested in swing trading. I'm talking strictly from a day trading standpoint. Day trading stocks, day trading options, day trading Forex, day trading crypto is it's just a waste. It's silly compared to futures through a prop firm for many reasons, all summarized in our local plant known as Pam's Plant, which we're getting actually over 100 people. Maybe I should ask what the makeup of the crowd is. Maybe a lot of people here have no idea what I'm talking about when I say Pam's Plant. And they're like, wait, why is this guy saying that me trading stocks is silly? Or me trading options is silly? So yeah, if people are interested, I can talk about Pam's Plant, but I don't know how many of you have already heard about it. But yeah, if you're somebody that has never traded futures, have never heard of futures, and you're a little offended, but you're at least willing to be open-minded and hear me out about why I'm saying that your strategy is kind of a waste of time. Is swing trading okay? Yeah, swing. I don't have anything against swing trading. But like if you are only swing trading because, for example, well, I trade stocks, but I have less than $25,000, so I only have 3 day trades every 5 days. So because I only have 3 of those, I mean, I'd like to be a day trader, but I really can't because I only have 3 day trades. So therefore, I kind of got a swing trade. If that's why you're a swing trader, then you can totally solve that problem with Pam's Plant. But if you're just a swing trader just because you want to be a swing trader, that's fine. But if you're being kind of forced to be a swing trader because of the pattern day trading rule, well then yeah, that would be proof of why Pam's Plant is so powerful. I will use your code for take profit. I'm currently on Apex. Well, that would be very much appreciated because that is a way to support the channel. Either use the link that you see on the screen there or just code CLAY all caps, and that is a way to support the channel. Clay, why did you start out trading stocks instead of futures? Surely you knew about them. Well, it's not just futures, but now again, and a very good question. So, so when I got started in 2006, first off, futures did exist, but there was nothing called the micro futures. Micro futures, I want to say, just came along within the past 5 years. So futures were like super, super, super risky. Because there was no micro, you would just throw yourself in, and it was kind of like feast or famine. And the other reason is back then there was no prop firms. Prop firms are, I don't know, we'll call it like 3 or 4 years old now at this point in terms of kind of having ones get established track records. They've been around longer than that, but they've become more of a thing recently. So yeah, I just didn't have those things. But that's why, like, if I was a beginner now, and I tell people this, I have a couple people in quote unquote real life that like know me in person. They go to the same church I do, like, and they've gotten interested. I'm like, this is what you're doing. You're gonna do futures, and you're gonna do it through a prop firm because when you are brand new, that is the best way to go about it. Because for again the reasons of Pam's Plant, Here we go. Once again, knocking on the door. So that trend line there, you can just see it. It's trying to get back above there, just can't quite do it. But we're hovering. Is it going to get the breakthrough here with potential continuation on there? We'll see what happens. But so yeah, that's why I didn't, because the opportunities available now were not available back in 2006 when I got started. How would you manage multiple funded accounts? Copy trade all at once or rotate? You got to do what you think is best, Jeremy. I've not copy traded yet. I'm still new to the scene, new enough to the scene where I've not copy traded. But that's just, again, you can ask 10 different prop firm traders that. You'll probably get 10 different answers about how you should approach that. But it's your personal risk tolerance. If you cannot handle copy trading because you're like, I'm making this one trade, but this is going to affect me. If it causes you to trade scared, well, then you shouldn't do it. But maybe other people are like, it doesn't cause me to trade scared. Okay, well, then those people should do it. So yeah, you kind of just got to figure out what works best for you. Or do you think day trading is better? I think day trading is way better than swing trading. Could you please tell us more about Pam's plant? Okay, Charles, I will. Hey, Clay, can you go over your trade you took today? I took several trades, and nothing really worth. I don't even remember. Oh yeah, so I was today. I looked like a rock star because I was very aggressive. So I got short like somewhere right around here. And I got short, just ended up for a quick scalp. It snapped back. I was like, I'm glad that was a quick one. And then my other trade, I remember I had a trend line in there drawn. And then I shorted the break of the trend line right there. So let me get this stuff out of the way so you can see. So you can see that after that break, it actually did drop down a little bit. But again, I look like a genius because I was like, I'm just quick scalping. So I quick scalped, and then that thing skyrocketed back up. And then I can't remember. It was either that dip I bought or that one. One of those, and then that was pretty much it. So like I said, very quick trades. I didn't really trust the market. I didn't really trust myself much. What's the basis of your strategy? Making sure the risk makes sense relative to the reward. Is the risk logical? Oop, bouncing up here. So, all right, that trend line. Now you got to think, if this thing comes down, how are the longs going to be feeling? Got to think longs are going to be feeling very discouraged. Because right now, how are the longs feeling? At this exact moment in time, they're feeling great. They're thinking, here's the bounce, here's the bounce. So longs are feeling very, very good. But if this thing comes back down, put yourself in the long shoes. How are they going to be feeling? And it's easy to do that. How would you be feeling if you're, buying, accumulating here as a long, and then you're getting this move up? I can only speak for myself, but if it were me, I'd be like, all right, here we go. Push, baby, push. Here we go. But if this thing all of a sudden evaporates and comes back down, I'm pretty angry. I'm pretty bitter. I'm pretty like, all right, if this thing breaks these lows right here, I'm out. I'm cutting this thing. Hey, thanks, KX. But as of right now, it's looking like there's some legit power. There we go. It is pushing upwards. So, yeah, for the longs that we're accumulating right here, good job. Congrats. But still, if this thing were to come all the way back down, you got to think that there are some demoralized longs. But I wouldn't think as many demoralized longs because this has now been a big enough move where you got to think they probably locked in some gains. So their position size is shrinking. Therefore, their stop losses that may still be down there aren't going to be as big. And because they're not going to be as big, then the amount of downside pressure you would expect to show up with all those stop losses going off is not going to be as big because, again, their positions aren't as big because they've had enough room here to start to lock things in. That's very correct. I got swing trade Mara at support got in at 1220 with only 400 shares, and I'm up over 600 this morning. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. CEA Fei, congrats on your gains. But the amount of money that you needed to purchase 400 shares for quote unquote only $600. It's like I said, I'm not trying to rain on your parade, but like you're kind of proving the point about why Pam's plan is so much better. Because if you just look at MARA, M-A-R-A. Again, great trade. And you said you got in at what? You got in swing trade at 12.20. Okay, so let's do some math here. So 12.20, and you said you bought 400 shares. Okay, 400. So that means you needed $4,880. That's how much was needed for this trade to make, as I said, $600. Okay. Now let's look at the world of futures. So 48.80, and that was a big move, right? I think we can all agree. And again, congratulations. You got down here, got in at 12.20. And then you got this big move all the way up here. If I could learn how to use my platform, we'd be off to a better start here. There we go. So, I mean, so what I want everybody to focus on is this distance right here. That's where they got in, and then all the way up there. So that's a big distance. Now let's look at that distance here on futures. And I'm not even going to do the... But let's just go from 2,300 up to right there. So as you can see now, not even close to the same distance. But, so 2,300 up to 2,340. Not to insult anybody's math mind, but that's a difference of 40. That thing rose by 40. Now, in the world of futures, things go by points. So that is 40 points. And on this type of future, we're looking at 1 point equals $20. Okay? So 1 point equals $20, and that distance there, which I think we can all agree, is quite a bit smaller than MARA, which made a huge move. So 40 points, and each one of those points is worth $20. So how much was this move potentially worth? And this is just on one contract, Well, 40 times 20 equals $800. So this small move was worth more than that MARA move. It was worth $800. But there's still a possibility like, okay, well, Clay, yes, but in futures, how much did it cost you to actually gain access? As we saw on the stock, you needed it right around like, what was that, $4,800. But how much, I mean, did this require you to have like $48,000? Again, good question, more than fair. So that's where the prop firm power comes into play, because when you consider the prop firm and how it works, you could have, again, that was all based on one contract. You could have gotten one contract, because right here you can see for $25,000 purchasing power, it would have cost you $105. And you could have actually bought up to 3 of those contracts. So that $800, had you had 3, which you would have been allowed to for this size account, that would have been 800 times 3. But we're just keeping it at 800. So one contract for $105. So that is the power of prop firms, is way, way less capital. And that is the L of Pam's plant. And what I mean by that is right there. Prop firm power, the P, and then the L, low capital required. So, I mean, that's just, that's one of many reasons here with Pam's plant. But, yeah, again, congratulations. I'm glad you made $600 on it. But when it took you $4,800 to make it, when you could have spent when you could have had only $105 at risk, in my mind, futures trading through a prop firm just makes a whole lot more sense. Yeah, exactly, Viper. The cost, your risk is just the price of the account itself. Yep. Did that make sense to people? For those of you that are maybe in stocks, you see how, like, wait a second, you need a lot more capital for stocks. Does everybody see that? Now, I understand those of you that are already trading in futures through a prop firm, you get that. But, like, for those of you that, did that explanation make sense? All right, well, now we are looking at the flip side of things. So we've had these areas. I'll leave them out here for now. But now it's this area of resistance that is very interesting. Again, no guarantees. But, I mean, a break through this area here, I mean, seems to be more than realistic. It could get up there and test the highs right there from over in that area right there. Because, again, you look back here, there just aren't any, areas that suggest a significant amount. So what is that? That's a break of theirs. We'll just call it 360. Whoops. Up to 360. Yeah, so about 10-point potential. What made you move from stocks? Pam's plant. Pam's plant. It's just there's so much things better than futures. Makes sense to me. Future, not now for me, it doesn't matter, but just from more of a business, from a teaching standpoint, I can relate to so many people because yeah, I can trade stocks because I have more than $25,000. I can do all that, but like when people and I've done live trade videos are like, I mean, good job, Clay. That's cool, but I did the math and I noticed that like on that trade you were using $90,000. Like not many people have $90,000, and it's like yeah, that's true. That's true. Like you can't really relate to a lot of people because most people don't have $90,000, but in the world of futures with prop firms, can I relate to way more people now? Yeah, absolutely. Because I think most people would have 105, which is the bare minimum to get $25,000 of purchasing power. So just like I said, from a business, from a teaching standpoint, it's so much fun to be able to relate to so many people. There we go. Got the break. Will it get continuation? How in the world does a prop firm make money if you're allowed to lose 2,000? Because it's not real. It's simulated at that point. I remember you trading stocks when I first started with Warrior, and I used to watch you trade. Yeah, no. Okay, so you're an old school. Well, then again, I mean, I just got into futures back in November. My community has been telling me for years, Clay, get into futures. Clay, get into futures. Clay, you got to check out prop firms with futures. And I just because I'm a stubborn donkey, I was like, oh yeah, I'll check it out, But I did think prop firms were kind of sketchy for quite a while. But we had plenty of people in my private community that were kind of the guinea pigs, if you will. And they've gotten payments. They've confirmed, like, no, they're legit. Now, yeah, there's been some there's always bad apples. That's why I'm not sitting here promoting like 15 different prop firms. I'm talking about one because it's the one that I use and that and that's why I recommend them. But eventually I was like, all right, I'll give it a go. And I was kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, I was a stubborn donkey. But yeah, because again, going back to how do they make money? Because during the test phase, it's not real money. It's a simulated environment because they're testing you. But if you can prove yourself, then you move into what's called a pro account. And then at that point in that account is where where the money you start to make is real. So yes, the way a prop firm works is you put very little money, you prove yourself as a trader, you have to pass a test, which is a good thing because they're going to force you to manage risk. And then after you pass and go to the pro account, that's where you can make money. Which prop firm are you using? I use Take Profit Trader, which is if you go to that link at the top, that will give you the promo. Order flow. You got 5 TPT 150Ks. That's awesome. Very good. Can we get 4 more likes? We're kind of, I'm a little worried. Can we at least get up over 50? We're almost an hour in and not even 50 likes. Granted, I have not been asking for too many likes, but if you're enjoying, please make sure to hit that like button. What happens in pro? What happens in pro is you get to, the money you begin to make, you can get to keep it. So this has not been a clean break at all. Were longs able to survive this? But I could see some longs potentially surviving this and not getting stopped out. But I can also be like, yeah, if you got stopped out. But yeah, this has not been clean at all. And that's what I mean by this kind of action right now. A little trickier today. So that's exactly why I was in more of a scalp mode. Because yeah, this has not been a pleasant breakout. To break out and then come all the way back down here and then to work your way back up here. Like I said, there's still a chance that maybe this turns out to be a true breakout and does get up there. But yeah, that's what we call kind of just the choppiness. Just not a clean breakout. This would be an example of, again, you could still call it a breakout, but not clean by any means where it breaks and then just gets going. I blew 2 pro accounts but managed to take out 7K. Now I'm back to trading test 3 today. Well, order flow, I hope you consider using my using the link in the future if you want to support the channel. There we go at 54 likes. Fantastic. So if you have been struggling today, to be fair, it could be you, but there's also a real possibility that it's not you per se. This is just a tricky market, and this is a very good real-time example of exactly what I mean by that. Very, very difficult breakout to play. Again, just go through it. Broke up, then snapped back all the way here, and is now recovering back up, and is now looking like it might hit where kind of that original profit target area was. But yes, not a clean breakout. If you did take that breakout and you survived that storm, well done to you. But yes. Seeing all this stuff is at their website. So like, that's why I put the link. Like all these questions are there. And yes, position size remains the same, but I mean, all these answers are, right at their website. What time does Trump speak today? I don't know. Does Trump speak today? Exactly, order flow. Yep. See profits, take profits. Exactly. And there's the move. I don't see why at this point it doesn't at least go up there and test those highs. There it goes. So there it was hit. And now we're putting in new highs. That's what that white line's representing, the highs of the day. So that's why that white line is adjusting upwards. So yeah, I mean, it did work out, but it just was sloppy. A sloppy move. We had it mapped out. And like I said, I can see both sides. I can see some long-sided traders getting stopped out with this nonsense. I can see others weathering the storm because it wasn't totally crazy. It's not like this candle broke out and then came all the way down here and then did this move. So it wasn't like a huge drastic pullback, but still, I mean, it was not clean. It was a choppy breakout, but eventually it broke out, hit that target, and is now pushing higher. But yeah, so congratulations to anybody that took that and survived. So just out of curiosity, who here right now has never traded futures or doesn't even know what futures are? Give me a number 5 in the room. If you've either never heard of futures or maybe you've heard of them, you've just never traded them. Hit that number 5. I'm curious. What kind of crowd? Wow. Well, now, if you did take this breakout, again, do what you think is best. But I mean, hopefully you're starting to move your stop loss up to at least break even, if not making sure it's a winning trade. Because this is quite a bit of a move now up through there. Hey, Rocky Mountain Gobblers, I have a bone to pick with you. Were you on the Thursday night webinar last week? I don't think you were. And I think you've already heard about Pam's plan anyways. But Rocky Mountain Gobblers, to be fair, maybe you were there. But I don't know. Were you on last Thursday's webinar? Really, just a couple of people? Only 2 people here have... Now it just... So now it becomes a question of, does it backtest and go, right? So is this thing going to drop down to the former breakout point and then go? And that's no guarantees, but that's certainly going to be a situation that people are going to be rightfully wondering about, along with this right here. I'm going to go ahead and get these lines out of here. I don't want to have too much clutter. But yeah, is this now going to be a back test and go, or is this thing just going to keep on going here? And that's the tough decisions. Because do you wait for a pullback? Nice thing about that is if you get the pullback, you can get yourself an amazing entry point. Bad thing about that is what happens if it never pulls back and then the balloon just floats away and you're sitting there saying, if I didn't wait for the pullback, I'd be doing very well right now. But welcome to the challenging world of trading. Oh my goodness. Charles D, I'm fairly new. Yeah, Charles D, as somebody that is new, I would start with futures, and I'll just quickly go through. When can I join the live webinar again? I'll put a link to that real quick. There you go. But as far as, yeah, all right, this is gonna be a good time. So why I would recommend and why I say that stocks, if you want to be a day trader, day trading stocks, day trading options, day trading crypto, day trading Forex is garbage, is because of Pam's plan here. So what is Pam's plan? Well, it's an argument for futures trading through a prop firm. The P, there's no pattern day trading rule. If you're in stocks and options and you're handcuffed because of that pattern day trading rule, where if you don't have $25,000, then you're only allowed to have 3 day trades every 5 days, then yeah, that's a huge buzzkill. So that reason in and of itself, I would argue, is enough reason for people that are wanting to day trade stocks and options. to just get into futures. No pattern day trading rule. You can day trade as much as you want. They're open around the clock. Now they're closed on Saturdays, but for argument's sake, they're open basically around the clock, so there's a lot of flexibility in when you could find time to trade them. They have great movement, but the best thing is the ability to control the movement, and maybe I'll show you some of that in a little bit, put some trades on, and you can see exactly how you can control the movement, and you can control it at no extra cost, which I can explain too. But great movement, and as day traders, that's what we want. We want movement. You can short whenever. A lot of people are like, I want to short penny stocks, I want to short micro caps, small caps because they're garbage, they'll go down, all this sort of stuff. And that's fine, but then you have to go through the hassle of locating shares, paying locate fees, doing all this stuff. And it's just a massive hassle. They're extra fees. It gets costly. Not to mention, those stocks can be very volatile. And if you get stuck in a short squeeze, you could be losing a whole lot of money, which when we get down to the prop firm part, the amount you lose actually is definitely in your favor. And I'll explain what I mean by that. And then the second S, you don't have to scan. Stop scanning, right? If you're doing stocks or crypto or whatever, you got to wake up, okay, which crypto is moving? What stock's moving? And you got to pay for scanners. You got to do all these scans. Now with futures, you just wake up and you just go. And what do you mean you're not receiving enough? I think it's still smooth. Is it video? Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I'm getting this. Not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I think we're okay. So again, you don't have to scan. You don't have to pay for things. You just show up and you're going to trade the same thing every day because the same thing every day is going to give you multiple opportunities. And if you've been hanging on the stream, you've already seen we've had several shorts, we've had several longs already, and we just been watching the same thing. So that's a beautiful thing. Time savings and cost savings. Now for the companies that have designed scanners and want you to sign up for their scanners, kind of stinks for them. Like futures and the prop firm stuff, I think it's going to eat their lunch because why pay for scanners when you just know what you're going to trade every single day? And then we get into prop firm power. Why is it powerful? Well, as I already explained, low capital required. So the way a prop firm works is you prove yourself as a trader, and then you move into pro accounts, and within those pro accounts, when you start to make money, you get to keep that money. So low capital though, so you have choices. This is the prop firm that I use and recommend. You can use the link at the top, but you go and you choose the amount of buying power you want. So for example, the bare minimum, if you want $25,000 of buying power, it would cost you $105. And then part of that is you're able to get involved and trade things that, again, going back to the M, that move very, very quickly. But point here being is you have very, very little money at risk, which is then flows into the next one of the A, added risk control. Two ways. And the first way, very, very important. But the rules. Once you're in and you have to prove yourself and you have to pass, there are rules upon you. Now, they're very straightforward rules. Some prop firms can get kind of complicated, but with Take Profit Trader, very straightforward rules, but these rules are designed to force you to manage risk, to force you to focus on risk control, which aren't the most enjoyable things to talk about, but they are the most important because I get it. Everyone wants to talk about making money, and that stuff's great. But at the end of the day, the true key to success is you got to be able to manage risk. You got to be able to, focus on risk control. And that's what those rules are designed for you to do. They're going to force you to do that stuff. And as a new trader, a beginner, somebody that's struggling, I would argue it is a good thing if somebody is self-imposing rules upon you that are forcing you to manage risk and think about that sort of stuff. And then you just protect your own money because very little of your money is on the line. And going back here, so $105, and the test for this one is you've got to be able to make $1,500, but you're not allowed to lose $1,500. But let's say you have one of those bad days where you lose your mind, your revenge trade, you go on tilt, or maybe just get stuck in a crazy move, and it costs you $1,500. Now, within the prop firm world, yes, you would fail the test. They would take the account away from you. You can always try again, but you would have lost the account. But did it actually cost you the $1,500? Whereas let's say you're doing something in penny stocks or crypto or whatever, and you're like, well, that was really dumb on my part, but I learned a lot. Well, that cost you $1,500 for that lesson. But if you had that same exact lesson in futures, the whoops, that was dumb, but I learned a lot. Well, how much would you like the oops, that was dumb, but I learned a lot? Me personally, the but I learned a lot, I would rather have cost me $105 as compared to $1,500 of my own money. So it protects your own money that way because you have very little at risk. And then the nuclear explosion growth, you can do something called copy trading. So in Take Profit Trader, you can have up to 5 accounts. and then you can copy them, meaning you can make one trade, and let's say you make $200 on that trade, but if you copy it to your 4 other accounts, then you made that one trade a total of 5 times. So sure, you only made $200 on the trade, but because you copied it to those other accounts, you're now actually up overall $1,000, $200 times 5 accounts. So yes, you can grow, and you can grow very quickly. Now, of course, there's the flip side. If you show up and act like a degenerate gambler, then yeah, you can just all of a sudden, blow up a bunch of money really, or blow up a bunch of accounts really quickly too. But assuming you know what you're doing, assuming that you have a strategy and all that, there is some very, very explosive growth possible. And then the T, tax reporting is easy. All they do, the prop firm sends you a 1099, and that's it. That's all you hand your accountant is a 1099 form. So talk about very, very kind of anticlimactic tax stuff. Just a 1099, there you go, done. So Pam's plant, I have yet to have anybody that is a day trader in stocks, options, Forex, or crypto be able to refute Pam's plant. People will attack me. People will come at me and say stuff like, oh, well, you're just a promoter. You're a con man. You're a shill. You don't even trade. You're a terrible trader. All this stuff about me. And as I've always said is, okay, let's just assume all those negative things about me are true. Okay, now let's talk about Pam's plant as an idea. What is wrong about Pam's plant as a strategy? Again, if you want to attack me, that's an ad hoc. That's fine. Again, I'll say all negative things about me are true. Now, can you address Pam's plan as a strategy? What exactly is wrong with Pam's plan as a strategy? And they fail to do so. So the best people do is come at me, but again, that's the ad hominem logical fallacy. They're attacking me. They're not attacking the idea, the strategy, which is Pam's plan. So I'm all for it. If you are a stock or a day trader in stocks, options, crypto, or Forex, you can try to, tell me how is what you're doing better than Pam's plan? I don't think you're going to be able to tell me. And again, I just showed you earlier the whole capital thing. Like that one person did very well with MARA, but then it took him like $4,800 to make $600. Which again, congratulations for them. But $4,800. I mean, think about how many accounts you could buy for $4,800. You could get a lot of these accounts for $4,800 and have a whole lot more upside potential. Where even if you lose one, okay, you lost 105. Or on the other extreme, if you wanted $150,000 in purchasing power, and you go out there and do something really stupid, which would, so let's say you do something stupid and you lose $4,500 because that's the amount that would cost you. Well, again, you'd only lost the cost of the account, which was $252. So that is Pam's plant. Again, you are more than welcome to try to refute Pam's plant as a day trader in some other category of things as, stocks or options or whatever, but I've yet to hear anything that is even close to being persuasive. One person was like, well, you have to pay commissions in futures. It's like, okay, so let me get this straight. You're going to stay in stocks and options where there are brokers that charge 0 commissions, but you're going to clutch those 3 day trades that you get every 5 days. You're going to clutch onto those 3 because you don't have to pay commission on them. I think it makes more sense to, instead of only having 3 day trades every 5 days, where you could have 3,000 day trades every single day if you want. Sure, you have to pay commission on them, but at least you have 3,000 day trades and you can day trade as much as you want. So, I mean, I'm not quite getting you have to pay commissions though. It's like, yeah, but you get to trade a whole lot more, which I would take being able to trade as often as I want and have to pay a little bit more for commissions as opposed to not having to pay commissions, but I can only literally do 3 day trades, which is a buy and sell in the same day. Only 3 of those every 5 days. So Charles, there we go. That is Pam's plant. Micro Largo is about going to the moon right now. Joe Mar, why are you still talking about stocks, Joe Mar? This is what happens. People like Joe Mar show up. He's heard about Pam's plant. Joe Mar also said he was like going to join the webinar. A lot of people here say they're going to do the webinar, then they don't show up. But Joe Mar, I don't even know, Micro Elgo. Maybe are you saying the Micro Elgo? Maybe, to be fair now, maybe he's saying that about the micro futures. I thought Micro Elgo was like a name of some company, like some penny stock company that is pure garbage. Oh, we're at the backtest, aren't we, right now? Let's get this out of that. Just don't dawn on me here. So we're at the backtest. Is it going to go? Is it going to go? Right now, a little bit below it. I could see stop loss of being right below the 50 period. So you got to give the thing a little bit of wiggle room. Do you get taxed on only the money you withdraw from the firm? Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, anything that they've sent you. KX joined. And you use the code KX? Use the code, no activation. Use the code, no activation fee if you're a pro account. And if you blow it account, as long as you don't reset the account, that promo fee will be reset. Yeah, no, exactly. Order flow. Thank you. Yep. I was about to light you up. Because to hear Pam's plan and then continue doing what you're doing, it literally makes no mathematical sense. Like you are literally putting more of your capital at risk than you need to, and you're not using your capital in an efficient way. Does your course teach about how to read those yes, Tony. Yep, that is like the backbone of it. Yes, if you want to learn about everything here and how to take these and build trade plans that make sense, is the risk relative to the reward and all that sort of stuff. Yes, it covers all that for sure. Where is it? I'll send you a link. He asked, so before people go, oh, you're here to sales pitch us. Tony asked, so I'm just sending him a link to just Tony. So all you people that are offended as soon as somebody tries to monetize your time, all of you just calm down. There we go. There's a back test. Now think about it. If the people got in right there, their stop loss was right here. They had a risk of about that, give or take. So at this point, it has now gone up about that high. So they're at least 1-to-1 right now. Actually, a little bit more than 1-to-1 because I'm terrible at drawing boxes. But there we go. So again, if you're a scalper, plenty of wiggle room. If you want more, well then I would hope that you'd have at least pulled off a little bit because you're at least at 1-to-1, risk reward. But that still doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be a winning trade, because if it comes back down and stops you out, yeah, maybe it's now, instead of a full-size loser, maybe it's a small loser. Maybe it's a break even. Maybe it's a small gain. So yeah, the people that want to see this, want to give it more chance to move, they're still not out of the woods. I would say that hopefully they've at least pulled off a little bit of their position since they've gotten more than 1R. And again, I'm basing it off of that pullback point that I mapped out already, and using that purple line as a stop loss, which you heard me talk about. So based on that, they're up over 1R. So those people, do they maybe pull off another one up here a little bit before? I don't know, but so scalpers definitely back test and go, fantastic. People that want to see a little bit more, like I said, maybe not quite out of the woods yet. Because if this thing all of a sudden just plunges, yeah, they're going to be bummed with a small loss, break even, or maybe a small winner. Do they wire money internationally? Yeah, they don't wire it. They use some sort of I can't remember what they're called, but yeah. If they let you sign up, then they're in a country that they can get money to you. But I don't think they wire it. They use some platform. Micro Algo. Oh, that is a company? Daryl? So Jomar is here talking about some sort of garbage stock company. So yeah, Jomar, you do need to get lit up. Did he pump? And he pumped. Micro Algo about to go to the moon. Oh my goodness. Micro Algo, all those stocks are pure garbage. Pure garbage. So, that's MLGO? I thought he was talking about... It is. Again, this is the whole thing. This looks like it's amazing, right? Oh, wow, this thing went from $4 up to 10. It's a waste of capital. A waste of capital. Because to make any decent amount of money, you want to have what? I don't know. 100 shares, 500 shares. So, where's my calculator? You guys already saw this. So I already showed the capital thing. So this right here, yeah, that's cool looking. But the amount of capital, the amount of risk that you would have to put on using your own money, you're locked in under the pattern day trading rule. Nah. Some people just can't be convinced. Jomar, I guess, is one of them, unfortunately. I'm setting an alarm for the next webinar. Yeah, if you can get up and hunt turkeys at 4 a.m. in the morning, Rocky, no excuse why you can't make a clap. Well, maybe you're sleeping by then because you got up so early. Really dumb noob question, but what is NQ 5 minute? Is that a single stock or multiple? This is futures, Tony. So the NQ is the type of future, and then the M is just the contract, and then what did you ask? And then the 5 is because That's just the contract. So the M5, don't worry about that. Just the NQ is the type of futures. So it's not a stock. We're trading futures here. That's the one you told everybody about. Where did I tell? I didn't tell anybody about ML. Oh, maybe you must be referring to my top 10. So here's the business model. Like, and the business, I do my top 10 stocks, but that is to cast the net out to those people that care about stocks. Eventually, hopefully, they watch the webinar and I can be like, hey, stocks don't make any sense if you're a day trader. Stop doing that. That is my business plan. Like, so I've had to be like, oh, so you're a promoter of prop firms now, aren't you? Are you? Oh, so you sold out to the prop firms? It's like, yeah, I'm here to promote prop firms, but I would say I'm here to promote a good idea. So let's address the idea. This is what I was talking about earlier. People want to attack me. Oh, so you're promoting prop firms? I am promoting prop firms because my argument, it's a good idea. Now tell me how it's not a good idea. And then those people, crickets, because like they're doing it. Like that's the funniest thing is, prop firm traders have got kind of, oh, you're a promoter of prop firms now. It's like, well, yeah, I'm promoting the idea. Aren't you doing it? Well, yeah. So you're upset at me because I'm promoting a good idea. And then it becomes, well, no, but you're promoting a good idea, but you also get paid for promoting a good idea. It's like, so you have a problem that I'm getting paid promoting a good idea. Yes. It's like, okay, well, we just look at the world in a different way. So for some reason, you think I should spend my time free of charge to promote a good idea. But like, I have 6 kids. If I'm going to spend time away from them, I want to try to monetize my time. So it's amazing how 2 people can agree about something being a good idea, but then one person is the bad guy because they decided to try to monetize the fact that they're promoting a good idea. The world is a bonkers place. It's a bonkers place. But like I said, that's literally the only thing I get against Pam's plant. Nobody says like, oh, that's a bad idea. They're just like, you're a scumbag promoter. It's like, okay. But that is the business model. That's why I do those stock charts, because I'm trying to bring people in. Come on, stock traders. Come on, everybody. Step into my world, and I'm going to show you a better idea, a way that benefits you. Whoa, okay. Whoa, yes. So that's what I meant. So I don't know. The people that wanted more on the back test and go, hopefully they locked in a little bit more here, because there it was, just boof. So they're probably a little disappointed. Like I said, I would assume that worst case, that was a small loss on their part. Hopefully it was at least a break even, maybe a small winner. But yeah, that move right there. Wow. Thank you, Salty Pig. USA stock. Uh-oh. I got somebody with the USA stock market. AMD, 15% up from my buy point and first target done. Some correction possible. Next is Mars stock. It is? Next is Mars stock? So you're all in on Mar? USA stock market, you are all in on Mar. Is that what you're telling me? I love when pumpers show up. USA stock market, you are all in. Everything you own is in Mar. I don't even know what Mar is. That Marriott? Please don't tell me that's Marriott. Is he here really pumping a hotel stock? I hope I'm wrong here. Please don't say Marriott. Oh my goodness. Marriott. Only on the internet, folks. Only on the internet. Only at 6. Hey, hit that like button if you're enjoying. If you're enjoying, hit that like button. USA stock market has declined to, I don't know, maybe he's just going around to every live chat and copy and pasting that. Well, well, we need to get our other lines in here, don't we? Yeah, we got to get this one back in place. All right, let me just move this one down. There we go. That one is the other one we've been watching, and is now coming back into place. And I see both sides of the equation here. I mean, I can see people's like, I'm buying at that line. I get it. I mean, it leveled out there before. On the near term, I should probably take this trade because I was talking about Pam's plant and the movement and ability to control it. Oh, I just missed it. Shoot. Oh, there we go. Knocking on that door. All right, if people would like to see me take a trade, again, I'm going to do it for educational purposes. Let's get this up to at least 80 likes. So 14 more likes. We should be able to do that because I have not been asking for likes very often. So let's get this up to 14 likes. All right, let's get 14 likes and let's get this up to at least 80. And I will take a real trade and you can see how this plays out. Oops. Yeah, pumper alert for sure. Yeah, I should just get rid of those ones. If they're not going to reply and defend themselves, I need to just get rid of them. So they had a chance to reply. They didn't, so it's deleted. I won't ban them because I love to interact with the pumpers. 10 more likes. 10 more likes. But there it is. Look at that. You can't make this stuff up. And I'm not. I say none of this to brag about myself. I'm not. But I am bragging about technical charts, technical analysis with it, which is what we're looking at here. Is it a perfect tool? It is not perfect. But you were all here and was like, hey, look, I would not think that's crazy at all for people to get long there. I mean, it's bound from there. And look right where it, now was it exact? It wasn't exact, but I think we'd all agree. Got right down around that level and then boop, back up it went. So scalpers, definitely a winning trade. No doubt about that. They got a, over a 10-point move there. But the power of charts. 8 more likes. 8 more likes. Yeah, this is Monday crew. Not doing so good on the likes. So I could see a buy here, maybe a stop loss down below there. That's what I would do if we can get this up to 80, just to show. Because again, I want to show the movement, but also the ability to control the movement, because that is also something that. Oh, and I gotta change to, there we go. So the reason why this disappeared down here is I just changed accounts. Remember, with the prop firms, you can have multiple accounts. So I've changed to another account that has not had any trades on it. So that is why that disappeared there. Again, you can have multiple accounts with a prop firm, which makes it, there's so many nice things about a prop firm. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't, and then you look over here at the 5 minute. So you have the 5 minute. Oh, I didn't even see that. Look right where it bounced off on the 5 minute. Right off the perp line there, which is the 50 period moving average. Boom. Right off that area. Beautiful bounce. Come on, let's get this up to 80. Let's go. I got to be a man of my word. I can't say I'm only going to take a trade and then all of a sudden not do it at 80, because then people are going to be like, oh yeah, you just say stuff, but you don't actually follow through. But right now, I would not call anybody crazy. Again, no guarantees, but to be long down around this area, you're getting the spinning top. You have a tight little stop that you could have. Does it bounce? Does it bounce? That is the question. Again, hit that like button. If we can get this up to 80, I'll put on a... Clay, can you describe or show on the graph when stop loss orders are... I don't understand. Show on the graph when stop loss orders are triggered. I mean, they're triggered when the price gets hit by them. I'm not sure I understand your question. It just dawned on me that it was a week ago. This is the 1 week anniversary of the Clown Fiesta live stream, where I was just trading for the sake of trading because I was trying to do that challenge, and we were kind of trying to figure things out as a group collectively in terms of, what direction do I want all this to go. And I was forcing trades, and I was mentally tired, and the stream was like 2.5 hours long. That was a week ago. I will say that was, yeah. I really enjoy this, just hanging out, doing some commentary. Hopefully people are learning, and just kind of, like I said, making sure people know about Pam's plant, making sure people know about all this stuff, and just taking questions. Like I said, mapping things out. Only 4 likes away. 4 more likes, and then we're going to get some trades on here. Oh, except I got to go over to MNQ because I got to do the bare minimum. Yeah, this right down here. Do you go short here now? I could see potentially a short. Come on, one more like. We get this up to 80. I mean, we got to get this up to 100, but we won't do 100 quite yet. But come on now. Oh, come on. I could potentially look to get short right there on the back test here. Is this a back test and go? Oh, and then somebody just took away a like. Now we're at 78. There we go. We are at 80. All right, so for those of you that are new and have never seen futures, what I'm going to show you here is the M of Pam's plant. Not necessarily the movement per se, but the ability to control it. This is what separates futures from through a prop firm, from everything else. Okay, that's what I'm going to show you here. The ability to control it. All right, here we go. Let me just get short here. So I'm getting short, meaning I want to see prices go down. Okay, I'm in. Now watch that number right there and just ask yourself, how do you feel about how that number is moving? And if you're looking at that number and saying, what is the point of this? That's the slowest thing ever. Totally fine. I will show you how you can control that. Like I said, that's just what I want you to watch right now. Looking for this and seeing if it wants to come down. But just watch that number. That's the main thing that I want you to be focused on. All right, I'm going to put a stop there. So now this will be a winning trade no matter what. There we go. So right there. Now, if you're looking, you're like, dude, what am I watching? You just made $3.50. Like, what was that movement? Totally fine. But I did this intentionally. This is the bare minimum of volatility you could expect. Because I would recommend you start off here on the MNQ. What we've been watching is the NQ. The NQ is the more volatile one. So start with the MNQ. But point here being the type of contract, the MNQ is going to be a great one to get started with, much less volatility. So the MNQ, and I was only doing one of those contracts. So like I said, looking down there, if you're like, that was terrible, that was a joke, what are you doing with your life? That's laughable. No problem at all. The way you can control it, again, of Pam's plan is right here. If you're doing the bare minimum account, which is $25,000 in buying power, which would cost you $105, that number that you saw at 1, I guess I don't think I pointed it out. But over here, this number was at 1. So right there, that 1, you could have changed that number up as high as 30. So yeah, in other words, the higher that number goes, the more and more fluctuation you would have gotten. But maybe you're still just saying, nah, 30, that's not good enough. No thanks. Well, let's go to the other extreme. So the $150,000 purchasing power one, which would cost you $252, that number that you saw at 1, you could raise that as high as 150. Again, at no extra cost, because within the 250, you could start at 1 if you wanted. But if you wanted to go up to 15, it'd still be, you're not paying anymore. Whereas think about a stock, right? If you're in a stock, because the argument right now is fair, it's, well, Clay, you can do the same thing in a stock. If you have 100 shares and you want more, if you want more fluctuation with your P&L, well, then just like buy another 100 shares. But what does that require in the world of stocks? Well, do you have enough money in your account to get another 100 shares? But in futures, all it would cost you is $252, and you could start at just one of those and go as high as 150. Yet you're not having to put up any more money, because that just comes with your account size, which is the 252. So I hope that makes sense to people, but that is the huge difference. That is a massive benefit, is your ability to control things and at no extra cost. Hey, Jomar, thank you. I'm getting ready to start, just trying to gain the most knowledge before it. No, I like it, Jomar. That's why I'm giving you a hard time. But as a beginner, in all honesty, like you need to just do futures trading through a prop firm, because you're going to have very minimal risk. I'm going to take that short. I'm going to go with 2 now, just because. And so this number here is going to be a little bit more, because I am now going with 2 if it wants to come back down. Same volatility, less risk. MNQ is more volatile, I think. No, no. NQ is more volatile than MNQ. You have that backwards. The NQ moves 10 times as faster as the MNQ. So again, if this wants to come down through here, I'm interested in getting short. Yeah, it is tough love. I appreciate you being able to take the tough love, but I am still joking around partially. All right, let's just get in here. Oh, come on. Come on. No. Did I miss it? Again, I'm doing this to show the new traders the volatility here. Or to show the movement. Because I'm going with 2 now. Because remember, like I said, people are like, nah, I don't know. That 1 seemed kind of slow. Fair enough. So I'm not saying any of these are like A+ quality trades. I'm just trying to put this on for educational purposes. Okay, so I'm in. Now watch that number. Now this is 2. So those numbers are going to add up a little bit quicker. And so just watch that number. And even now, if you're like, Clay, that number is still moving way too slow for me. Again, this is only 2. Just keep that in mind. So now I took off 1, and I'll put my stop loss here. So this will be a winning trade no matter what. So I'll move it down as the price goes in my favor. I'll move it down some more if it hits these lows. Oh, whoa, whoa, what a spike. So out there for another winning trade. So again, that at the beginning of that trade was 2. And then I did take 1 off, so I reduced it back down to 1. But again, if you're looking at those numbers and say, Clay, yeah, sorry, my friend, that like you just talked up Pam's plant. You just made it sound amazing. But you got to remember, the point here that I'm trying to illustrate is that the ability to control the movement. So if that was too slow of movement for you, no problem at all. All you got to do is come over here on the if you're doing the bare minimum, 25,000 purchasing account, that number that was at 2, you could have had it at 30, okay? Or on the other extreme, you could have come down here to the 150, and you could have had that number at 150 for no extra money, because it's, again, a stock. If you want to do that, you can add in more shares. Yeah, with options, you can do that. You can add in more contracts, but you got to pay. Like, that comes out of your account. Like, well, do you have that amount of money in your account? But with the futures prop firms, that is all there for you already. But yeah, nice little trend line break there. Followed it down. And worked out just fine. If you're enjoying the live trades, hit that like button. We really got to get this up to 100 to keep the streak going. Rocky Mountain Gobbler. So if I understand this correctly, you're paying $100 for $25,000 shares. If you lose that, you have to pay another 100 to get 25,000. Yeah, exactly. So what you're paying for is you're paying for $25,000 in purchasing power. How far does this go? And this is what I also like, is they do the math for you. Because it's like, okay, well, I don't know how do futures work? How do I calculate how much I can get for $25,000? Well, they're just telling you. They're telling you the most you could get in one trade is either 3 of the very volatile contracts or 30 of the less volatile. So right there, you know your limits per trade. So, and you can make as many trades as you want, but each individual trade, you can do a max of 3 of the very volatile or 30. Now, if you were to go and on a trade, you lose $1,500, yes, that's called blowing up your account. You would lose the account. You would fail the test. So, but the point is, if you lost $1,500, it's not $1,500 that's coming out of your pocket. It's just the cost of the account. And then you can try again, Rocky Mountain. So when you try again, you would be right back up to having the $25,000, and you would just start the test all over again. Ooh, is this a real bounce? Or is this a dead cat bounce? Five minutes looking kind of... Look at the 5 minute. 5 minute means each one of these candlesticks represents 5 minutes worth of time as opposed to 2 minutes, which is what we've been looking at. Did that answer make sense, Rocky Mountain? Another bounce off this 50 SMA area. I don't know. If this comes back down here, it seems like probably a long would make more sense at this point. I suppose you could get short here, stop up over there, and if this thing wants to come up and roll back over, maybe I'll do that. That's very minor risk. Yeah. So this will, I think I'll get the answer to this trade pretty quickly. So I'm going to go short there, stop up there. So look at that. My trade plan is already in. That's why I like this broker. You can enter it all right from the chart. So again, watch this number right here. I'm doing the bare minimum of movement that you could expect. Bare minimum. Okay, I'm in. And like I said, I think I'll have the answer here very quickly, and if I'm right or wrong. Uh-oh. And there we go. So nope, that one did not reject. That one straight up. So that was a losing trade. But I mean, just from a movement standpoint, this is great movement. So this movement here, think about it, from where it was at its lows to where it is, let's just call it right here to play it more conservative. That's 2320 to 2350. So this difference right here is 30 points. And if we are on the very volatile contracts, 30 points or 1 point is worth $20 a piece. So this right here, per one contract, if you're on the NQ, this is a $600 potential move right here on just one contract. So if you had 3 contracts, which again you could, so you'd multiply that by 3, that's $1,800. And what would it cost you to gain access to that sort of movement? Again, that's the L of Pam's plant, low capital. It would have required $100, right? Because that's where the 3 is coming from. On this size account, you could get up to 3 of those. So, I mean, just great movement. Great movement. I find that I do worse trading only 1 micro. I see a tiny profit and try to wait for more, but it ends up going against me. I die. Yeah, I'm just doing the 1 micro here for educational purposes because I want people to see just the bare minimum of movement that they could expect and then walk them through. But if you're not happy with that amount of movement, then yeah, all you got to do is come up here and change that number and make it higher. Donnie Pips, as an owner of another broker, I have to say all your information is correct. Keep up the great work and thank you for being transparent with the community. Well, thanks, Donnie Pips. I'm not sure. But yeah, regardless. Actually, I appreciate Donnie Pips showing and not even naming who he's working with because that makes it valid. So thank you, Donnie. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you not coming here and muddying the waters by, okay, Donnie, are you really saying that or are you just saying that to promote whatever broker that you are the owner of? So that's good stuff, Donnie. I appreciate that in multiple ways. So yes, that was the last one. It happened pretty quick, was a losing trade. My whole idea was, all right, is this some sort of dead cat bounce where it wants to bounce up here and then get rejected back down? And no, that one just kept going straight up and just bulldozed me. But that's why risk management matters, right? I got bulldozed. It went straight through me, but hey, that's why you got to put a stop out there. No, the broker you're on is an amazing broker and the ownership team is top notch. Thanks, Donnie. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you swinging by. I mean, I still am interested to go long if this thing wants to come back down here because now you have, I mean, do you do something like this? Just thinking out loud, so don't take any of this. I mean, do you get long there with a stop down there? So that should have been a straight line. But as of right now, this thing is just bouncing. So, yeah. But to me, going long right here, basically because we have this range. So if I just map out this, broad range, we're kind of in the middle of it. So to me, that has me a little nervous. But if it wants to come back down here, I could see myself trying another trade. But like I said, that's, yeah, like somewhere right around here. I just map out of them. So buy with a, So what's got me is if I put my stop right here, whoops, so sell stop. So if my stop is right there, look where my stop is over here. It's like right at these lows. So this stop right here, even though it makes sense in this part of the chart, doesn't actually make sense over here because I'm basically putting it right at that congestion area. So probably I would need to move down my entry point here so that I can move down my stop and get below that area over here and then still have the trade plan make sense. So maybe even move it down a little bit more. Yeah, maybe just even try to play a bounce right off those lows. There we go. That's a tighter risk. Again, my original entry point just had my stop at a location over here that just, in my opinion, didn't make a whole lot of sense. Let's short. I wouldn't call you crazy for shorting. I mean, you go short here with a stop right up over here. I mean, I like I said, I wouldn't call you crazy. Put a stop loss right there. Would not call you crazy at all. I'm not going to do it, but I wouldn't call you crazy. I see the logic. What is your purple line? That is a 50-period simple moving average. Casey, so what is? I don't know what that's in reference to. John Santella, HXLD. Oh boy. If you pass the profit target, you still pass the test. Yeah. If you pass the profit target on a prop firm, then you've passed. Used to be a fairly successful stock trader. Phased out of the markets recently to start futures. Awesome, Jake. What would you say is the biggest difference between stock and futures market? Futures market, I would say, is a lot smoother. I think self-fulfilling prophecies work out better. Charts work out better. And the biggest difference is when you factor in prop firms, your risk is just so much less. So Jake, I mean, when you take a trade with a prop firm, if you're doing, 100,000 account, technically speaking, every trade, your risk is only $231. Because if it goes bonkers and you lose 3,000, which would mean you fail the test and you would have to start over and try again, well, still, it was only $231 that you actually lost. So sure, within your test, you lost over 3,000, but you only lost $231. So your risk per trade is just very, very minimal. And then you can get, a whole lot of upside potential. Because as soon as you pass, you go to the pro accounts. And once you go to the pro account, there's no extra fees and there's no monthly fee either. That's the other nice thing is, that's why I encourage people to pass within a month, which is very doable with futures because they move very quickly. So after you pass within a month, because if it takes you longer than a month, then you're going to have to pay that again. But once you pass and go to the pro account, that this all goes away. There is no more monthly fee. So literally your risk is just what you had. And in fact, a couple weeks ago, I think, did a video. I don't know if Mark's here, but had a member of my student that was doing two $50,000 accounts. So just to kind of show how this works. So he did two of these. And then so right there he had two, and you can do up to 5 of them. So if each one costs 119, so 119 times 2. So he had $238 of his money, quote unquote, at risk. But he passed the test, both of them. He went to the pro accounts, and then he made $4,000 before he eventually blew up and broke the rule. So he lost his pro accounts. But all he had to make $4,000 was $238. So to quote unquote invest $238 to then walk away with $4,000, that's a good return on investment. So that's why I would say the biggest difference is just your ability to keep your risk so much lower and then generate some just bonkers ROIs because that's really the goal is. Even when you get to the pro levels, you're still going to get caught in some trade that does something squirrely and crazy and you're going to blow up your account. But if you can get up to $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 in payouts before you blow the account and lose it, well, I mean, that is a great return on investment for whatever it cost you in the first place. Mark is here, yep. The risk was the main factor. Sure, I made a ton with options, but man, did I blow some huge accounts. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you can make a ton with options by just options is just gambling, right? I get it. Wall Street bets, they buy super out of the money and then they just hope that it hits. And if it hits, it goes great. But none of that is a sustainable strategy. None of it is sustainable because you can't manage risk. It's just it's just gambling at the end of the day. So thank you, Jake. I appreciate you showing the opposite side of that because most people just want to show up and say, I made a ton with options. However, they leave out what Jake says, but man, did I blow some huge accounts. Exactly. But with the futures through the prop firm, your only amount at risk is what you ever paid for the account in the first place. Actually, Clay mentioned that. Oh, yeah. And then after when you pass, then the part of the deal right now, so if you use that link, because normally they would charge you one more fee. So like after you would pass to go to the pro account, they would charge an activation fee, which is $130. But right now, if you use the promotion, that's, so use the link that you see at the top of the screen. Use the link that's pinned in the chat box. But there's zero activation fee, which is huge, which is a really good deal because you pass, and instead of, again, having to pay $119 and then you pass and then you got to pay another $130, which still isn't that big of a deal because, I mean, like I said, your ROI is still very, very much in your favor. But as of right now, that would literally be your only cost because activation, there is none. So thank you for that reminder. Who said to go short? Right now, their trade's hanging in there. Like I said, when the price was up here, I was like, yeah, I could see you doing that. I'm not going to do it, but I wouldn't call you crazy. Right now, they're who was that? Khan. Hopefully Khan's still in. Right now, like I said, I'm waiting for this. I forgot I had that order out there. I guess I have my stop loss in regardless, so I'll leave it out there. That's what I'm looking for right now. Let's see if this thing wants to pull back. I have a pretty tight little risk there. You can hedge if you are smart, yeah, and you can also get yourself roasted with hedging. I'm not saying hedging is a bad strategy, but it's not like a holy grail. Hey, Clay, I saw the Reddit that if your trailing drawdown loss is 1,500 and your account is liquidated, then you have to pay that back. Can you just stay off of Reddit, please? Good grief. Reddit and trading is like, oh, goodness. Reddit is filled with bitter people that are failures that want to blame everybody else and then make up nonsense like that. Please, stay off Reddit. Stay off Reddit. I mean, really just stay off. I realize the irony because I'm kind of like on that. I'm on social media, so I'm a well of the irony. But there's so much garbage out there. Like I said, it's the same stuff. I got started in 2006. When I got started, it was penny stocks. Now you see the same exact psychology of pumping and dumping, pumpers and bash, all that sort of stuff. You see that same exact thing. It just happens to be on meme coins now and stuff like that. Strong hands, diamond hands. Don't let them scare you into selling because they just want a better deal. All that stuff is the exact same. How do payouts work with prop firms? Once you start to make money, you request money. And that's also why I like Take Profit Trader because other prop firms, this doesn't make them a scam. I just find it very kind of annoying and very kind of sketchy. But most prop firms will be like, yes, after you make money, you can request it, but you can only request it every couple weeks and you can only request a certain amount. So you may have made $10,000, but then you're not allowed to request that money until a couple weeks. And then in a couple weeks, you're only allowed to request, $3,000 of it. Whereas Take Profit Trader, they're like, no, if you make money, you can request that money whenever you want and you can request it in whatever amount you want. And that is kind of, that's what separates them. That's kind of their competitive advantage. That's how they've chosen to separate themselves from the competition. And that's why I like them. So sure, they cost a little bit more up front, but you're gaining so much flexibility when it comes to all those payment things. So that is why I personally really enjoy and feel comfortable recommending Take Profit Trader to other people because, yeah, that's again, those other prop firms, I'm not saying they're a scam because they have it set up that way. It just rubs me kind of the wrong way. And but like I said, I'm not opposed to it because there's lots of members that use other prop firms and they do get paid. But to just think about all the rigmarole, I think that's an English word, they have to go through. It's just like, nah. So yeah, is this thing going to come down here? Really, maybe I'm being a little kind of silly because right now it's at the 5-minute 50 period. So, I mean, do we bounce right off here? And I'm going to sit here and saying, why was I wanting this thing to break down through there? So we are at the 5 minutes, so this may be as far down as it pulls back, but like I said, for me, I'm just going to leave it where it's at. 10 more likes. Come on, let's get this up over 100 likes. Oh, we are 3 away from breaking a new record. We had 127 concurrent viewers. My record right now is 130. There it is. We're at the record. Let's see if we can go up a little bit more. My friend and I are going to use your code on Friday. Awesome. We have both been doing practice trades since last week on Tradeovate, and it's going awesome. Well, I appreciate it, Raspberry. Channel RM. See? The power of charts. I'm not bragging about myself. I'm bragging about charts. Learn charts. They're not a perfect tool, but look at that. We were just talking about that. And even if you want to just call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, that's fine. Well, charts don't work. It's just all self-fulfilling prophecies. Well, think about what you just admitted. You just conceded the point that there is such a thing as self-fulfilling prophecies. So if there is such a thing as self-fulfilling prophecies, wouldn't it be wise to know where these self-fulfilling prophecies are supposed to take place? I think that would be wise. So even if you want to just claim that charts only work because it's all self-fulfilling prophecies, Well, you should probably want to know where those are supposed to take place. That is my argument. And we're at 100 likes. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm still going to wait down here. To me, this seems like the key kind of bottom area of this bigger upwards range. Right here, we're still kind of in the middle of the range, so not totally shocking to see a bunch of chop right now. But yeah, if this thing does want to come back down, I'm not opposed to it down there. Granted, I'm not putting on a huge amount of risk. If anything, I'm just showing because my main account that I traded today that I'm working on building up and all that good stuff over here. So even there was kind of small in the day. Not because today I struggled. So 450 on this one, but we're kind of on the putts around account here. So not putting on a huge amount. But yeah, let's see if this. I mean, we do have a little bit of a bear. I don't know. This may be a little too spicy, but is that a short right there? If it breaks that line, is it a short with the idea that this thing could have a chance to at least go down there and test those lows? Well, there's the short. That happened. There's the break. We'll see. We'll see if it wants to work its way down there or not. Like I said, relatively spicy, and the reason why it's mainly spicy is because you're essentially shorting right at the purple line there, which again, if this is the true break of that purple line, you could definitely see some downside pressure, but it is also a very logical area where the price could bounce from. So yeah, that's kind of the spiciness of that line. So we'll see if it does want to find some downwards pressure there. But that's why I call that a spicy one, because that was definitely a very aggressive trend line. I accidentally started on Apex, and then I realized how shady they are. Take Profit Trader seems 1,000% better, and I've already switched. I just keep messing up my eval right before I pass. Yeah, well, channel RM to make you feel a little bit better. I mean, blowing up accounts is part of it. Some of the best traders in our chat room that have made lots of money from payouts. I mean, good solid money. They've all blown up accounts. That's just part of it. Like, you're supposed to blow accounts because, like I was saying earlier, pretty much an account is almost like you just look at it as a trade. So let's just say the 75,000, every trade you make essentially only has $171 in risk, because worst case that happens, something crazy goes on, you lose 2,500 and you blow up the account, you lose it. But you're not losing $2,500, you're only losing the 171. So yeah, but that's certainly part of it. There's no shame in blowing accounts. Doesn't make you a bad trader. And I've had a lot of the veterans. It's funny. A lot of it is full circle. I started the site back in 2013, and a lot of the early students are like way better traders than I am now. So they're like coaching me like, Clay, dude, like, it's okay. Like, I've been trading prop firms for 3 years now, and it's okay to blow accounts. So that has made me feel better. Not sure why the 50 SMA is different for me than yours. Yeah, I don't know. You might have different inputs on it. I'm not quite sure. If you are enjoying, again, hit that like button. We are over 100, but we've had some where we've gotten up over like 125. So if you are enjoying, hit that like button. And this trend line here, it tried again to push down through there, but got to remember what's occurring here on the 5 minute is the price is, it's that 50 period moving average. It's putting up a fight, putting up a big fight. We need to get an overall upward trend line put in place though. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. And my orders are still down there. Can somebody remind me? Because I'm going to leave this stream. I guess it's not the end of the world because I do have a stop. So even if I got filled, it'd stop me out. So I guess I won't. But yes, we need to get this trend line in play here. Because you got to think everybody and their brother's uncle has drawn this trend line. And when we have one of these, everybody and their brother's uncle has drawn in trend line areas. Doesn't guarantee anything, but again, that's where these self-fulfilling prophecies can potentially come into play. I mean, if the price were to come up to here and then get the break, guaranteed, no, but more than valid to think that the price were to break through there, that could create some upside buying pressure. But right now, still interested in playing. But again, this is nothing. This is the bare minimum volatility, and I'm just having that because if we can show new people what you could expect on the bare minimum side of things. That's what's going on here, but. Yeah, we have this area of support kind of within the pattern itself. This level here has got quite the track record. And again, just more data points. Look at that, right off it once again. So, I mean, you can see it was a support there, support there, support there, and then support most recently right there. So, yeah, if this level can hold, nothing is for sure, but I don't think anybody would be shocked with a break of 20,330 for that break to send it down to at least these lows here, which would happen to also be my entry point at that area. So we'll have to see if it can get down there. But step one in that process again is, can it break through the 330 mark? That is the key. That is the great... My daughter would be so disappointed right now. I'm trying to do accents, and she's pretty good at accents. Me, not as much. Don't forget to drop a like. Yes, thank you, Cornell. I agree. Don't forget to drop a like. Appreciate that. All right. Yes, and the other thing about that line is, think about it. If this line fails, then that means that the price is basically now starting to get true failure. Whoops, away from that 50 period moving average. Right now, it's still in the zone on the 5 minute of that 50 period. It's trying to hang on there. It's trying its best. But a break of that level there, in some ways, I think you could look at it as a very realistic kind of confirmation that, yeah, that purple line has kind of taken its last breath. But as of now, the price continues to hold strong. So 330. Is anybody in here? Is anybody long or short? Is anybody taking this? What do people think? Is anybody looking to go short at 330? Now, what becomes interesting is if this thing just keeps chopping around, and then if it starts to move up, do you buy there? Because you could have a very tight stop. Buy the breakout, stop right here. So I don't know. Is that a possibility? But again, this thing needs to chop. Because right now, for me, in my opinion at least, the risk profile is too big. Because if you wait for the price to come up here and you buy at this point, well, and then you have your stop loss all the way down here. I mean, that's a big risk box right there. But down here, the risk box would only be like, something like that. So I'm assuming everybody can see how that risk box would be quite a bit smaller than that one. So right here, this would be cruel. Like if it comes up here and breaks and keeps going, personally, I can't take that trade because where do you put your stop? Like where's the logical spot to take a break? Or if you buy this break here, where do you put your stop? Again, the only logical spot that I can really see is down here. But that's so far away right now. So that's the whole question is, I understand you can put stops wherever you want them, but it's a question of, well, is that stop actually logical though? Does it make sense, or are you just arbitrarily throwing it out there? But like I said, if this thing can consolidate more, then due to the nature of that line right there, that is going to be shrinking our risk profile the entire time. And as of right now, but again, think about earlier, there were probably some longs buying around here. How do you think the longs were feeling when that move was going on? I'm guessing pretty good. But if this whole move disappears, I can see that being the straw that breaks the camel's back, and that being the one that has demoralized everybody. And because of that, people are like, all right, I'm out, and that level fails. Because think about it. Just put yourself in the long shoes. You were buying down here. You got this move. You'd be feeling great. But now how would you be feeling? I'm guessing pretty frustrated, pretty annoyed, pretty angry. You're probably hanging in there because it hasn't done anything wrong per se. But yeah, if it comes down there and breaks those lows, I think a lot of longs would be like, yeah, now it's done something wrong. Here we go. Oh, they are demoralized. The longs have got to be like, are you kidding me? You just gave me that great bounce, and now you're coming right back down here. But they're going to be saying, but it hasn't violated this low. The longs see that low. So they have a little bit of hope left. And that hope is that level right there. But where does the longs hope disappear? You can't know that for sure, but I think you can take educated guesses. And I think the hope's long disappears with a break of the 330 mark. So much so that this is looking kind of like a foolish entry point, because if it breaks right here, does this create a big move to the downside? We'll see. But look, it's holding in. That line continues to hold strong. Looks a bit like a head and shoulder on the 2 minute. Yeah, yep. It's holding. They got hope. Uh-oh. Right off that level. How do you have so many subs but not a lot of views? I don't know. If you're a YouTube expert, I'd love to know. Now, as far as the live stream, I don't know. I just started like a month and a half ago, so I'm totally new to live streaming. But it's growing. It's growing. See, that level has held once again. I think you should close your position. You think so? Well, I have very little at risk there, so I'm not too worried about it. But I mean, okay, their hope. How would you be feeling as a long? I'd be like, kind of do or die. So far, so good. I'm hanging on by a thread. Hanging on by a thread. Are the bulls? Is this going to be the camel is this going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back? Better than any Hollywood movie. Look at this. Wayne is short. All right, Wayne. Wayne's short. I can't say I blame everybody. It's knocking on that door. The shorts are just, now think about if you're a short. If you're a short, you are just cursing that level. This level is like the worst thing. This level is like broccoli and spinach. You just get out of here, Mark is also short. We got people short. If you're enjoying this drama, hit that like button. That's all this is. Price action is a story. That's the story. You have the longs that have been accumulating that got very excited here, very demoralized, but that level's holding strong. So they're thinking, okay, still got a chance. Let's get this up over. We're almost at 2 hours. I'll go another 15 minutes if we can get this up to 115 likes in the next basically 3 minutes. So do we got 8 likes here? 8 more likes, and I'll go another 15 minutes. Let's see if we can get 8 more likes. There. Oh, it's broke. It's broke. Okay, has that broken their spirits? I got a long area down here to go long. $110. Come on, 5 more likes. Let's go. Long's officially demoralized. Let's see how demoralized they can get. It's already come down to here, but Mark took his quick little scalp. So there we go. Some shorts, such as Mark in the chat room, he was just looking for a quick scalp, so he didn't have a whole lot of confidence in the breakdown. So we'll see if Mark was right or wrong. Raspberry is going short if it goes back to 330, and I think it back tested that. Come on, one more like. You probably got some stubborn longs in there that are like, okay, let's just make sure that this isn't one of these fake breakdowns. I'll give it a little bit more wiggle room. All right. My entry is right there. For those of you that are new, watch the order right here. Watch those numbers and ask yourself, how do you feel about how they're moving? Again, this is the bare, there I'm in. So watch that number. Ask yourself, how do you feel about it? Are we going to get a bounce at all? Again, if you're saying that number is the slowest thing I've ever seen, I'm going to give you the solution. Just bear with me. Bear with me. Okay, let's get this to at least a winning trade. So this will be a winning trade now, not by a lot, but I'll move my stop loss as it goes. There we go. So that was a winning trade. Now, again, if you're looking at that and saying, Clay, that was the worst thing I've ever seen. Again, that was the bare minimum. That was an MNQ, which is the slower moving contract, and only one of them. So if you thought that was terrible, again, P of Pam's plant. Not only do futures move, but the ability to control it. So what is that ability? Well, on this $25,000 account right here, you could have made that number that I showed you at 1. You could have raised that as high as 30. But if you're still like, no, that's not really that good, okay? Well, then you could go to the other extreme of things, get $150,000 of purchasing power, and you could have, that number that was at a 1, you could have made that as high as 150, okay? So that is the power of Pam's plant and futures. So there you go. That's the volatility, and that's how it can play out. But there we go. So right there, does that psychology make sense to everybody? Like the story that I kind of set up, do you all see how that movement up had the longs excited? Like they were feeling great, and then to have that thing disappear in the next candle, and then how they giving that thing a chance, having some hope, and then right there, their spirit's officially broken. I mean, it's psychology. That's what this is. The price action is just the story. So, Mark, good job on your winning trade, but I'm sure Mark right now is just like, in hindsight, I should have just let the thing work for me. So the short-sided scalpers, again, they were right in the sense of they made money, but they were wrong in the sense of they could have made more money. Again, this is all hindsight, though, but it just goes to illustrate. But sometimes had this thing snap back up, then I'd be sitting there saying, hey, those that were scalpers on the short side, they chose right. Because if those people were looking for more, yeah, they didn't get any more. But this trade played out where, yes, those that got short there and were looking for more, they are getting more. And congratulations. I don't know if anybody took that short and is still in. My suggestion would be to go live at market open. No, my loyalty lies to my premium members at market open. I need to give my full attention to them. So, and you're welcome to join my private community, Jeremy. But yeah, that's where my loyalty lies at that moment in the day. Because I'm making alerts. I'm giving all sorts of stuff to them. To the premium members. All right, here comes the back test. So we've talked about this already for those of you that have been on the stream for a while. Is this going to be a back test and go? So far, it has been a back test. We've already had that. It broke down through that I don't even know what color that is, tealish line. Now it's back up. It is back testing as I speak. Is this going to be a back test? So yes, it's back testing, but the question now is it going to be a go? Back test and go. That's the question right now that you got to kind of consider for yourself. Do you think that's going to be the case? The classic back test and go. Again, if you're enjoying, hit that like button. Nice. We're at 116 now. Let's get this up over 120. I mean, really 125. It seems reasonable. So now, as of right now, looking like this is not going to be a back test and go. It's or at least not at that spot. It pushed up through there. Market is just too strong today, so been aggressive with shorts. Yeah, no, I get you. That's what I did pretty much all day long. I was very aggressive. And in your defense, through me, like the ones that I took were very good. Meaning I decided to scalp from a short side, and like both of them like snapped back against me. Where if I had not scalped, they would have been losing trades. So yeah, sure, for this situation, the scalp short was not the right one, but I had the ones this morning where it would have been the right one. Man, ask for some likes and still at 116. There's not anybody in here that can give another like? Come on. Oh, Sam, I'm up almost 5. You're up almost 5,000? Goodness. I don't know. Good for you. I struggled today. So to get for you to be up over 5,000, good grief. Well done. Well done. Yeah, so if this thing does come back down, again, sloppy. That's a very sloppy back test and go. I could see people weathering the storm and still staying in because I could see stops above, a short stop above that high right there, or using the 21 EMA, and it never violated either of those. So I can see shorts surviving the storm, but nonetheless, that's a pretty sloppy back test. But to be fair, it hasn't still necessarily gone. I mean, it's gone a little bit here, but I mean, let's see if this thing wants to pull back even more. P&Ls are like golf scores. I'm not a big golfer. I've golfed, but I don't even understand. Like, under par, I don't even know what that means. So I don't get the analogy is what I'm getting. Oh, you're copy trading. That makes sense. My stop was 20 EMA, so looks like you're still in, Raspberry. These market trend mornings are hard for me to find entry on both sides. Yeah, I can see that, Brian. Would you recommend people to start their own channel on YouTube? Was it hard to? I mean, you can try, but YouTube is. Let me put it this way: I've tried to start a couple other channels, and it was like, "Hello, YouTube, I'm here." But I mean, you can, but you better be ready to hustle and grind for years and years. I mean, when I got started in YouTube in 2013, there were still people out there, don't get me wrong, but there wasn't nearly like it is right now. And like I said, I've tried to start new channels since then, and I just gave up on it. I'm like, all right, I already have a successful channel. I'm not going to waste my time with these other ones because that's what it is right now. It's a waste of time. So, I mean, you can do whatever you want, Jeremy. Nothing is worse for your golf scores than witnesses. Oh. All right, so there it is, the go. It did back test and go, but again, a sloppy one, but people such as iRaspberry Kiwi, they had their stop up above that moving average right there. So you can see as it came up, it never violated that moving average. So they weathered the storm, and now they're getting paid. Next big question here, though, is the pink line right there. The famous 200 period moving average. I'm going to get rid of that level there. Will it bounce from that level? Will it bounce from that level? That is the question. What's the ES looking like on the 2 minute? Yeah, look at that. I mean, look at the, again, there's no like, but I would at least try the 21 EMA, see what you think about it. But I'm looking at it here on the ES. I mean, slightly above it, rejected. Slightly above it, rejected. And then now it's just cruising down below it, including right there again, the back test right there, although a little bit different than what we were just looking at on the NQ. So this is the ES, meaning this is a futures market that cares about what the S&P 500 is doing. Whereas we've been looking at the NQ, which cares about what the NASDAQ is doing. Yeah, no, it's been choppy, and that's we've had a couple. I will say this was pretty clean, so I don't want confirmation of bias for me to only focus on the choppy breakdowns. But to give credit's due, that breakdown here that we talked about, that was pretty clean. Now it didn't break down and immediately flush, but it's not like it had any sort of massive jumps back in the other direction. So that break right there was clean. But yeah, everything else I agree is pretty choppy. Not the cleanest of setups here. But still interested in that trend line right there. What's now becoming interesting about it is you're getting kind of a double whammy existence in the sense of you have that first quote unquote whammy of resistance right there, the trend line, but then the second whammy right there, the purple line. And there's a little bit of space between it. But I could see you arguing from the short side that you think this area right here is going to be like a resistance zone. I could see that. So in other words, I would not buy the break of that line there because not that far up overhead, then you'd have to deal with the purple line. So I could see this thing breaking the trend line, bumping its head on the 50 period, and then going back down. So yes, this is sometimes like right here, think about it. If it broke right there, there's no 50 period. The 50 period's down here. It's already been broken through. It's blue skies. But here, no, not quite. You have the break of the trend line, and then boom, right away, you'd have to deal with that 50 period moving average. Once again, if you enjoy the commentary, if you enjoy me kind of just giving my thoughts, make sure you hit that like button. I'm still trying to figure out what do people actually like. And then even just... super chats in the like a $2 super chat with a comment of what you like, what you find helpful. That's super helpful too. Not necessarily because it's $2. I mean, it's $2, but just because that would make sure that I see it because I don't necessarily always see all the messages that pop up in the room. But yeah, for those of you that are here maybe for the first time, I've been on the YouTube channel has been around since 2013, but the live streaming I'm still in experimentation mode. Only been doing it for about a month and a half now, but and I think I'm finding my groove, but like I said, still trying to figure out what people really enjoy. So I enjoy giving the commentary. I think it's kind of fun to hang out. Just throw out some thoughts and all that. You seem so consistent with your work. Can you give me advice on how to be consistent? Like what you do. Like it's easy to be consistent with like this live stream stuff right now because I really enjoy like being here. It's fun. It's a challenge. I have a personal goal I'd like to see if I can grow this to get up to 1,000 concurrent viewers. Maybe that's a pipe dream. I have no idea. But I've been consistent with it every day at now basically 11:15 a.m. because I enjoy it. So that would be it's very easy to be consistent with something if you like what you're doing. If you don't like what you're doing, like, be consistent with working out. It's like, yeah, that's pretty hard because a lot of people don't like to work out. Be consistent with eating healthy food. Yeah, that's kind of hard. Best advice for discipline in trading. Yeah, don't trade scared because it's hard to be disciplined in trading if you're scared, which is, again, why I would make an argument for prop firms, because it's hard to be scared when you know that your full risk is much less, right? So if you're buying the $25,000 account and you're like, well, something could spike against me, something could go crazy, and yeah, my account might flash negative 1,500 and I've lost, but at least I only know it takes 105. It's easy to be disciplined and not freak out, not take profits too early, not be like, oh, I'm going to hold and hope because I don't want to be wrong because this is actual realm. So I think you don't want to trade scared. Trading scared is the enemy of all traders. And it's very hard to be disciplined as a scared trader because being disciplined also means you got to let things work for you. If you're taking profits immediately, well, that's because you're trading scared. You're not being disciplined unless your trade plan said you're supposed to take profit super quickly. All right, we're almost at 2:15. I will go another 15 minutes if we can get this up to 100, either 135 likes, or if we can get $10 in super chats. So we have about 3.5 minutes to either get this up to 135 likes or $10 in super chats, and then I'll go for 2.5 hours. So let me know. I will gauge that based off of the interest, and the interest I am basing that off of the either likes or super chats. I think commentary is appreciated. Thank you. Always be racing. I enjoy your actual trades with the commentary. I think you can make some serious YouTube money if you get those kind of viewers. Yeah, we'll see what happens with it, Mark. I mean, I enjoy the challenge of it. Let me think. I mean, why not? For the stream, we'll just put on another trade here. Okay, I'm in. Again, watch this here for you newbies to futures. Ask yourself, how do you feel about how that number's trading? If you're like, that's the slowest thing ever, that's okay. I'm now short, meaning I want to see prices go down. I might look to add another because I'm only at 1, but we'll see. Actually, I will if this wants to come down here. So I'll add another one. Stop is up there. Jeremy, just pay for my community. If you want to be involved with me during my community, just join the group. Like, there's nothing that's preventing you from joining the group, Jeremy. Like, I appreciate the feedback. That's great. But, again, my loyalty lies to those people that are willing to actually put a little money where their mouth is and join and become premium members. I keep scale shorting the 20-30 line. Oh, that one right there. Again, watch that number. And if it's too slow for you, and I realize I could be giving back my gains, but like I said, this is just a putts around account, and I just wanted to at least get one more. What did I say? 130 likes? Or okay, yeah. So we got to get at least 4 more. I can't remember what I said, 130 or 135. I don't remember. But we got to get a few more likes here in the next minute. And looking, I'm going to get stopped out here. And I am stopped. All right. So if you did not like that movement, if you thought, oh, I gotta talk about something else though too. Gotta talk about my computer. No, I think it would help traction for lives. Yeah, you know, like I said, I'm trying to grow, but like I'm not gonna sell out my paying members. Like, I'm not a scumbag. Well, the trend line held. That was maybe a little bit of a forced trade for the sake of the video. Can we get 4 more likes? And I did want to note that I am trading on a new computer, and I wanted to give just a shout out. I'm not being paid or anything for this. I did want to share this link. I would definitely recommend people sign up for this guide. I was somebody that was like, I would never pay somebody to build my computer. That seems like kind of a waste. But this guide here, it was first off very helpful, but also just it makes you think on some things. So if you're in the market or thinking you might need a new computer or trade computer, check out that link again. I'm being paid nothing for it or anything like that. But if you check that out, it's very actually helpful too, because I can only speak for myself, but I don't really know a whole lot about computers. But the guide is very helpful in that regard. Good site. And I talked with the owner, and he did. To be fair, he was like, "Hey man, you want to set up some sort of like compensation thing?" And I was like, "No." Because he, like I said, he built the computer that I'm on now. I'm loving it. It's fantastic. It's awesome. So I was like, no, I don't need any I don't need any affiliate program. He's like, okay, well, if you wouldn't mind just at least telling people about the guide. I said, yeah, sure. I'd be more than happy to share this guide. So like I said, if you're in the market and you don't know anything about computers, or if you're just looking to save time, then check out that guide. All right, we did not get to 130 likes, and we didn't get $10 in super chats. So I'll probably just go make another trade offline here, because this is actually looking kind of good here. But all right, well, that is all I have. For those of you that are interested, I'm doing a free webinar. This Thursday. So if you want to check that out, I'll put a link in here. Swing on by, would love to have you. And also, if you want to come trade alongside me and some other really good traders, I offer a private community, which you can check right there. And then again, as far as the prop firms are concerned, I would definitely recommend Take Profit Trader, which is who I've been using, who you've seen. So if you use that link at the top, that's pinned. That's a way to support the channel. Yes, that's an affiliate link. Yes, I will be paid if you use that link. But yeah, like I said, if you're looking for a super free and easy way to support the channel, make sure you check that out. All right. Can we get 2 more likes here in the next minute? Like I said, 130. Can we get 2 likes? And I'll go on one more, because this is actually a very interesting area where I could see a trade. 129. Wow, we can't even get 2 more. All right, well, I will call it good then. So, oh, there it is, 131. All right. Like I said, this is kind of a putts around account. So we're going to get a little, let me get one. Okay, so I'm in there. Let's see if this thing wants to come up some more. So I'm short. Again, for you newbies out there, going short means I want to see prices come down. If it comes down, then I'm making money. All right, got another one there. See if it wants to come down. Again, the blue line is my average price. Like I said, this is kind of almost a burn account in a sense. Like, I don't really care what happens to it. So, like I said, I'm not going to be a total degen, but I don't mind getting a little bit more aggressive. So now this thing does not want to push down through the purple line, it seems. There we go. Oh, I tried to get out there and it wouldn't fill me. Come on back down. There we go. Okay. So now, oh, there we go. There we go. I'm going to just bring my stop down as it goes. In hindsight, I wish I would have added way more. Let's see if it wants to pull back some more. Come on. Come on down. I'll move my stop loss down some more. Want to see it down below that 21. Look, the 21, it's bouncing right off it before. And right now it's giving me headaches. I don't like the 21 EMA right now. I want to see you fail. Fail. Go, there we go. Let's move it down some more. Get right above it. And right there, out. So it went from red back to green on that one. And that was still very just modest trading. But again, if you're watching those numbers and saying that was barely fluctuating around, the highest I had that number was at 2. I realize it's back to 1 right now. But again, as a reminder, you have maximum control of the ability, because you could have taken that number on the smallest account for 105. You could take that up to 30. So just keep that in mind. The power of prop firm and futures trading. Did anybody take that trade with me at all? Ravshan made $30 on it. Very good. All right. That's all I have. Again, check out those links. If you want to support the channel, support the live stream, and you want to get signed up with the futures prop firm, the one that I'm using, the one that I would recommend, please consider using that link that I have, or just use, you're still in, good job. Or just use code CLAY at takeprofittrader.com. Code CLAY right there. That's how you can support the channel. And I appreciate it and thank you in advance. But everybody have a good one, and I will be back tomorrow. Unless something crazy happens, I'll be back tomorrow at 11:15 a.m. Eastern time. So take care.